Hey everyone, it's Ivan with KitBadger.com, here to bring you a review / unveiling, finally, of my secret project, my profile anatomy targets, or just ambush targets. A while back I did a review of these Vital Anatomy targets by Sage Dynamics. Great targets, love using them. They have the two, this one being the head, and then of course we also have the torso right here. And the reason I like these is, one, gives you an idea of what you're actually shooting at as far as anatomy goes. And I find that to be valuable. One thing that I don't care for too much with these targets is the coloring. I love the coloring on the one hand because it doesn't use a ton of black, and also the red and the blue that it does use aren't colors that usually end up getting used on your printer. Usually end up running out of your black printer cartridge. Great targets, print them off at home. They're PDFs, you just download them. But the thing about the coloring that I don't care for is at distance, I'm actually looking for this target area. Like I see this brainstem at distance. I see this blue circle at distance. So when I ended up making my profile anatomy targets, or ambush targets, I set out to do a couple things. One, I really like the idea as far as the colors that Sage Dynamics was using. Thought it did a really good job not burning up colors in your printer. But then the other thing I wanted to do was obviously create a profile, because I've yet to find a good profile target out there. And lastly, what I set out to do, as you can see by these colors, is at distance, what I want to be able to see is the silhouette, because I'm not going to see cerebellum in this dude's brain at distance. I'm not going to see this guy's heart at distance. What I want to be able to see is the silhouette and have that draw my eye, because ultimately that's what I'm going to be seeing once we leave the flat range. So on this target here, you can see this bold outline in blue. All this gray here is all your bone structure. Skull, spine coming down. This pink right here, that's your cerebellum. Essentially, it's responsible for a lot of your movement, coordination, everything like that. Up here though, that's your brain cavity. That's where everything's going on. All this in here, kind of superfluous. Granted, someone shoots me in the jaw, probably going to make me rethink my time in that engagement, but at the same time, this up here is what's going to ultimately end the threat. So I have my 2 pages here, print off the top and the bottom, so you can see they're offset, and down here on the bottom, we have, again, bold blue line showing us the outline of our thoracic cavity, and then light gray, we have our bone structure. We have our spine, we have our sternum, single gray line down at the bottom representing our diaphragm. And then of course in here in this pink, we have our heart, everything going up to feed the top of us, big trunk going down to feed the bottom half of us. One of the things that changes when we look at a profile versus straight on, such as the Vital Anatomy targets by Sage Dynamics, is some of our vitals are shifted off some. Whereas if someone is facing you directly head on, as long as you're lined up center line, even if you have like vertical stringing going on, you still have something vital behind all those shots, because our vertebrae, our spinal column's running north-south, like straight through the middle of us. Whereas once something turns, you have this shift, and with these targets, it gives you an idea of how that actually translates to anatomy when something is turned and you have a profile shot. Right now I'm about, 10, 15 yards back. And as you can see on the Sage Dynamic targets right there, what stands out is basically these target boxes. Whereas over on the right, with my profile anatomy target, ambush target, you can see the silhouette, which is what I was trying to get after. Because at distance, whether it be 10 yards, 15 yards, 20, use this at 100 yards, however far back you want to go, what I want to be able to see on the target is the silhouette, because that's going to be my target indicator out here. Like I'm not going to see this beautiful little eye box like painted on someone out in the world wherever I may be, I'm gonna end up seeing a silhouette. The other reason I ended up going with these profile targets is because, as I think I mentioned, looked around, didn't really see any, wanted some, because I don't know if doctrines changed since I got out, but don't we want to flank? Like, is that still a thing? Do we still want to ambush people? The last thing you want to do is be in an engagement with someone that's like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm going to toe the line and shoot right back at you. Like, no, I don't want that. I want to sneak up on that guy, right? Let's flank that guy. So to that end, that's one of the other reasons I came up with these targets. I set these guys up for you as a printable PDF. You can download them for free, kitbadger.com, and have the color ones. And if black is the new black and you don't like color, I also have these. These, I will say, work really good at further distances because of that contrast, black to white. And these, head as well as chest, essentially black outline, and then everything else internal is in the light gray. All of them, free PDF downloads, print them out at home, print out a bunch before you go to the range, keep them in your range bag. Let me know how they do. Before I lose the light, get a little bit of training in. But try these guys out, let me know how they do for you.